Today we have signed a backup striker for Harry Kane, find out who he is, and we also have the Premier League opener away at the Etihad against Manchester City. That's coming up in Taking Over Tottenham. Hello everyone and welcome back to this FM22 Beta save here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and as I said today, kicking off the Premier League season against Manchester City and a little bit of transfer business. So if you're looking forward to that, do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already, then do also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well so you are kept up to date when more FM22 content does drop on the channel. But here you can see what we've done in the pre-season results wise since the first episode back on Saturday. If you missed that, I'll leave a link to it above my head in the top right corner since that game against the second 11, which was a little bit jumbled because lots of players away on holiday. But since then, decent pre-season, picking up wins against the teams you'd expect us to be, to draw against Monaco whilst we still had quite a few players away on holiday. The most disappointing result, the most recent one against Southend, because all our first team players were back, including one of our new signings. 36 shots to nil, and we didn't pick up a win. So that was pretty frustrating, it has to be said. Not too sure how that happened. They had a red card as well. Harry Kane with a missed penalty, so that's frustrating, but it's more or less sport who we've brought in as our backup striker, so we're going to get straight into it. Most of the transfer budget has been blown on Andrea Bellotti from Torino. This guy was available for pretty cheap compared to what he's now valued at here at Tottenham. We got him for 14 million with about 3 million in add-ons over the next few transfer windows. Very good backup striker. We've given him a regular starting role because he is going to start for us in cup competitions and of course the UEFA Conference League, so he should get enough football for him to be happy to be a regular starter for us. But he is a extremely good backup to Harry Kane, and that fixes that rather large problem we had if Harry Kane goes off the boil or gets injured. You look at his career stats, has been very good at Torino since joining from Palermo, and to get someone of that quality for 14 million, I think is a pretty good deal. So that's the one transfer we've bought, and if we go over to the transfer centre, you will see the players who have gone as well. There's been a lot. They've all been players who have been in the under-23s or under-18s and don't have much potential. That's where we've been trying to tidy up the squad, a few minor deals, getting players out of here, but no one overly notable there. I think just the one main transfer coming in, Andrea Bellotti. The other deal was an under-23 player from the under-23 manager who isn't that great. So the one main transfer, Andrea Bellotti, coming in to fill the backup role to Harry Kane. So this is what our tactic and squad look like coming into the first game of the season. Everyone back from their holidays, as we said. It's more or less the team that we plugged in at the start of yesterday's episode once we did figure out our tactic. Going to try this 5 at the back, although I will say we potentially don't quite have the centre-backs to pull this off if we're going to rotate guys around, because in terms of backup centre-backs, we've got Rodon and Tanganga, and that is really it in this team. We could bring someone up from the under-23, someone with 2-star ability, which would be a little bit risky, but he does have quite decent potential. He might even be in the under-18s if we have a quick look for him. Alfie Dorrington, 1.5-star current ability, but 5-star potential. So maybe he's a player we could try and give some game time to in that back three in the Conference League, but that's a little bit risky. So either we're going to bring him up and see how that goes, try and get someone else centre-back-wise who's a little bit better on the cheap, or even sell one of our midfielders, because one of the issues here at the moment with this tactic is the squad balance doesn't really suit it. But I do want to try 5 at the back at some stage in FM22, because I don't think we're going to get the chance to do that in our Builder Nation safe, because I don't think that's going to work at all in the third tier of Icelandic football. But you look at the bench, there's enough centre-back cover on the bench, 2 defenders who can play there, and also Ben Davies can go there as well. So not all bad, but we've got a lot of midfielders on the bench, so we're probably better suited to playing a 4-3-3, but we will see how this goes in the first month anyway. We'll get up towards when the data hub kicks in, which will probably be coming in tomorrow's episode, and see how we're tracking then, and maybe then we switch to something like a 4-3-3 Gegenpress, just because if we have a look at the squad and the analyst reports, we do have the highest stamina in the league. So that is a big plus in our favour, albeit if you do get rid of the goalkeepers, not quite the highest, but it still is very high. So this is a team who should be able to play a high tempo Gegenpress kind of system, which I know is supposed to be nerfed this year, but we might have the players to pull it off. But we'll just try for this first month, as I said, 5 at the back, and see how that works out for us and see what that looks like in the match engine. So this is our team going into the first game of the season. Since yesterday, Belotti coming onto the bench, obviously, to fill up the backup striker role. We've got Bergwijn and Gill as the backup wingers. Dele Alli, who was very good in the pre-season, albeit playing a lot of it as striker. He is in the midfield alongside Lo Celso, who will play the holding midfielder backup. Tanganga is at the moment a little bit of right back cover because unfortunately Matt Doherty is out injured. He did a double hernia out for 2 to 3 weeks, so he's going to miss the start of the season. So Tanganga is going to cover both centre back and right back. Joe Rodon is our out and out centre back cover. Ben Davies kind of playing as left back centre back cover, while Ryan Sessegnon's just a nice versatile player to have on the bench. But the first team pretty much picks itself here at Tottenham. Very good up front, solid in other areas, I think is the best way to put it. But it is a very tough test for us today, taking on Manchester City away from home. A game in real life, of course, that Tottenham did win. Whether we can do that in the save, not so sure, but we'll see how we go, and we'll come back shortly from the Etihad. Going to play this game on extended highlights as well, just so we get a bit of a deeper look at the match engine with our first team playing as well. Have a look how those wide centre backs do go. But we'll come back shortly with the team sheets. And here are the team sheets for this game. Of course, we ran you guys through our squad before on the right-hand side, so don't need to go through that too much. But there are Manchester City on the left, the new look City with Jack Grealish on the field. They've also brought in Robin Hussins in defence as well, so that is a very strong Manchester City lineup. They've also brought in Renato Sanchez as well. In fact, he is on the bench. I think they spent about 40 million for him, so their transfer budget definitely a bit more substantial than ours here at Tottenham. But we'll see if we can do something similar to what these guys did in real life and try and pinch what would be some very valuable points away at the Etihad. Okay, up to the 6-minute mark here, we've got the first highlight of the game since the kickoff, where nothing really happened from it. It is Manchester City in possession. We'll have to play around with the game speed here a little bit, I think, because they are playing quite quickly. Might just slow that down a little bit. Now, we're going to get an early look here at VAR. Reguilon with a tackle there. Definitely a foul, but I think it was just outside the box. You can kind of tell from where the ball and Bernardo there for Manchester City are sitting. Indeed, it is no penalty. There will be a free kick here to Manchester City, and we'll see what happens from it. And Ndombele tidies things up quite nicely for us, although Bernardo now on the attack in City, looking to really get on top of us. Early good block there, though, from Sergio Reguilon. Dyer playing that back to Lloris. We look to get going on the counter-attack, and this highlight does continue. Fernandinho, Jesus with a shot, deflected, forced to Grealish. That shot blocked as well. You can see some of those blocked animations now looking a little bit better as we just slow the highlights down ever so slightly prior to this corner, but something that has been mentioned about the match engine this year. There's a lot more variation in block shots, how the ball reacts to it, and it's looking like that already, even from clearances, as well as Bernardo is on the ball. And this is a long sustained period of pressure there for Man City, but we do end the highlight at 0-0. But shortly off the back of that, De Bruyne with a free kick trying to pick out the top left corner, but a good save there from Lloris to keep it at 0-0. 26 minutes gone here, a free kick to Manchester City, who are all over us in the early stages of this game. We are yet to fire a shot. Good slide tackle there from Davinson Sanchez, and another one to block that shot from Grealish, but they are still in possession. Fernandinho just outside the box. Grealish lingering down the right on the edge of the box. Just on the retreat a little bit. Ball back over the top for Fernandinho. They are playing this game in a very dangerous area of the pitch for us here, but that's a poor ball over the top there from Gundogan, and we survive 0-0 after about half an hour. 34 minutes gone here. Another free kick to Manchester City. Good chance there for Fernandinho. Great save there from Lloris at the near post to keep it at 0-0. That's definitely the best chance so far that Manchester City have had in this game. And it is Lucas Moura with the clearing header from the corner. But they do get the ball back inside the box here, do City. Absolutely camping inside our half in this half so far, it's fair to say. Lucas Moura, another interception from him to keep it at 0-0. 45 minutes gone right before half-time, and finally, something in our favour potentially here as Emerson Royale, the right back, makes his way down that right-hand side back to Højbjerg outside the box, unleashes a shot, bottom left corner, and we have absolutely stolen a lead here at the Etihad right before half-time, and Højbjerg is ecstatic with that. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I will try not to call him Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, it's really hard not to do that, but Højbjerg gets the first goal of the season for us here at Tottenham. I think the amount of defenders in the way there have not helped out Ederson in goal, but a really good finish into the bottom left corner from well outside the box. And at half-time, we absolutely steal a lead at the Etihad, our only shot of the half, and we get a goal from it while Manchester City have absolutely dominated things. So we are FMing them here at the moment, it is fair to say. We'll see if we can keep that going in the second half. We will make a few changes here at halftime. A few players only on 6.4 ratings. Lucas Moura, despite some good defensive work, only on a 6.4. So Steven Bergwijn can come on for him. And at the back, we've also got Christian Romero on a yellow card, 6.4 rating. So ideally, someone who can put some tackles in there at the back. Just looking at our options back there. And I think that Joe Rodon might actually be a better suit to that middle centre-back role than Japhet Tanganga, especially as he's currently our right-back cover. So Rodon on for Romero, Bergwijn on for Moura, and hopefully we can hold on to this lead in the second half, 1-0 up, as we kick off the second 45 minutes. Early highlight in the second half in our favour as we have a corner. Son puts us in the mixer. Dyer with a header at the near post, straight at Ederson, unfortunately. And it will remain 1-0, although the highlight will continue as he pumps it deep, trying to pick out Bernardo. Dyer with a good header. Son trying to play that forward to Harry Kane, who has done very little so far today, it has to be said, albeit not getting a great deal of service, but this time he is shuffled onto the ball, trying him out as a complete forward in this first game. When we switch to Belotti, may have to switch that back to advanced forward. Lovely ball there for Bergwijn, but his header pretty soft and he was offside anyway, but starting to create some stuff early in the second half, 1-0 up. 57 minutes gone, and we start with a free kick here to Manchester City, who are going to try and get their way back to all square in this game. And to be fair to them, based on first half play, they did deserve to be leading in that half. But we absolutely stole a goal late there through Højbjerg, so we won't complain about that. Far post ball, Grealish. That's very interesting from Lloris. Good save on the rebound, but boy, that first save was lackadaisical to say the least there from Hugo Lloris, as we'll get shown the corner as well, so we're going to have to be a bit alert from this as well. But the French goalkeeper nearly costing us there. Really good save on the rebound, but probably shouldn't have had the opportunity from the rebound anyway, as Eric Dyer hoofs that clear for no real reason out for yet another corner. So Manchester City potentially in this last half hour about to get right back on top of us. Good header away there though from Ndombele, and there is goal line technology looking very similar to last year, not overly useful from that angle, but interesting stuff from Lloris there. Luckily, we keep it at 1-0, and we are going to make our third substitution. Harry Kane, not doing a lot today, only on a 6.3 rating, yellow heart. We've got quality on the bench now in that position, so we may as well use it. Belotti to come on for Kane. That's our last substitution with a half hour to go. Let's see what the Italian Stallion can do up front in that advanced forward role. 62 minutes gone, shortly off the back of our last substitution of thrown here for City on the left-hand side. Hursons to Jesus, puts the ball in there for De Bruyne, and we can't quite block it. A lot of bodies on the line there, but no one can get in the way, and De Bruyne levels things for Manchester City. And to be fair to them, that's the least they deserve. They have looked the far the better team in this game, but we are still in this 1-1 with just under a half hour to go, just given a little bit too much space there on the left. De Bruyne given a heap in the box as well from that far out, even with those bodies on the line. It was always going to be difficult for us, and they equalise with 25 minutes to go. 77 minutes gone here, a throw-in for Manchester City. Most of the highlights in this game, apart from a couple either side of half-time, have been in City's favour. A block shot there off De Bruyne. Hurson's trying to get on the end of that, but a good little shove from Bergwijn, and it does result in us clearing it as Liverpool absolutely thrashing Crystal Palace in their opening game of the season. But Manchester City look to drive forward again here. De Bruyne out to Jack Grealish, $100 million man from Aston Villa. Hursons, De Bruyne, another shot blocked there. Fernandinho, his shot blocked as well. Balloons over to Bernardo, back to Fernandinho, and they do look to grab a winning goal in these last 12 minutes. Cole Walker on the right, just blast that wide, but they are starting to get back on top of us here. City with 10 minutes to go, and with 9 minutes to go, shortly off the back of that last highlight, it is a throw for Manchester City, albeit deep in their own half, and a good foot in there from Son on a yellow card, so needs to be a bit careful, but luckily did that well, albeit the pass that came soon off the back of that falls pretty safely to a Manchester City player, and they now look to get on the attack, playing out through the back here. The Sky Blues is Laporte just holding the ball up there. Ruben Diaz, Fernandinho, Gundogan look to build something up here. Grealish gets in behind Emerson Royale on our right-hand side. Just holds the ball up there nicely with a dribble move. Grealish, De Bruyne, some nice play from City. His shot blocked yet again. Gundogan tries to pick out the top right corner. Good save from Lloris. And it's still 1-1, but they are putting a lot of pressure on us late here. Manchester City. Now Sterling with a shot blocked as well. We're getting a lot of bodies in the way, which I suppose is good with these wide centre-backs on support. They're getting back and doing their defensive duty. Hurson's trying to put a ball in the mixer. It goes out for a goal kick, and we do keep it at 1-1 with 6 minutes to go, as I think we might just slow the tempo down here and try and hold on to this result, because it's not a bad one away at the Etihad. 88 minutes gone, very late in this game, and Manchester City continue to pile the pressure on us. Fernandinho with a shot there, blocked well from Reguilon to just deflect that off target. We're seeing a lot of those block shots animations in this game. Ruben Diaz tries to get his head on that ball. It goes out to Son. Unfortunately, nothing shown off the back of that. And now as we enter 3 minutes of added time, Manchester City are on the attack yet again, which is a little bit concerning, because we are supposed to have, as I showed you guys before the game, pretty good stamina. So I was hoping if we can play at a higher tempo throughout the game, we might be able to tire teams out. But it looks like we're clinging on at the moment as Bergwijn, good block, but then has to clear it for a corner, and we've only got 2 minutes left in this game. De Bruyne far post. Luckily for us, Eric Dyer is there to tidy things up, and we are now in what is hopefully the last highlight of the game. Emerson Royale just holding the ball up. Sanchez, maybe we can get another chance out of this highlight and try and pinch a result. We can't. In the end, considering how the game played out, that's a pretty good point for us, I think, because Manchester City absolutely battered us throughout most of that game, but could only get the one goal through Kevin De Bruyne in the second half after we pinched one right before half-time through Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and we come away with a 1-1 draw. As I said, completely outplayed, but we'll take the point and see how this tactic goes against some other teams off the back of this. We have the likes of Mulder in the UEFA Conference League qualifiers and Leeds as well, so it'll be interesting to see how this tactic works against those guys before we change things up. But we'll tell the boys we're pretty happy with that result. 1-1 draw in our first game of the season away at Man City. And back in the inbox a day after that Man City game, I thought I'd show you guys the new post-match reports that we get in Football Manager 2022. I have found these quite useful after the friendly games that I haven't been watching. I've had the assistant manager managing those. So you can see key statistical findings from the previous match is what these are. We start off with overall match momentum. This is like something that I've seen a bit on the Premier League social media pages since the start of this season. You can see Manchester City really did dominate that game. We had a little spell right after half time, but they probably should have won that game, Manchester City, based on the match momentum. The match passes, you can see we were looking really dangerous down the right-hand side, so that is something to note. Maybe we need to start focusing our play down there, but we'll see what happens in the next few games before we make any major tactical tweaks, especially if we don't persist with this 5 at the back tactic. XG performance, yeah, very lucky to get away with that one. It is fair to say. Opposition long-range shots, they did have 7, but with 0.44 XG from them, something we probably don't need to worry about too much. However, from inside the penalty area for us, a little bit average. Should be getting some better chances when we do get the ball in good areas like that. 4 attempts for us, all with headers. So that's something to note. I think that was from those corners that we saw the likes of Eric Dyer getting on the end of them, but 0.27 expected goals. So not overly great chances, but that will do it for today's episode. A bit of a more in-depth look at the match engine, especially with a first choice team here at Tottenham, and we held on for a 1-1 result there. Okay, definitely under a lot of pressure in that game, so hopefully we can turn that around in our next few games. So in terms of when we'll come back, we do have the end of the transfer window coming up at the end of August, of course. Before then, we've got Conference League qualifiers against Mulder. We should really be winning that. I will be putting out a pretty heavily rotated team, but still expect us to be winning those ties and get through to the group stage of that competition, considering we are expected to make the final. We really need to be focusing on doing a good job in that competition. We've got a Leeds game in between now and then, so I think what we're going to do is come back after the Molde game, show you guys what deadline day looks like. We might not do any deals. We'll see how much money we do have left, but just show you guys how that works. And off the back of that, we will play our third game of the Premier League season against Newcastle, which is going to be very interesting. A Brendan Rodgers led Newcastle in the save. See what deals he has done and how we can get on against the Geordies at St. James's Park. And off the back of that, it is our third league game, which means the data hub should unlock as well. So we'll have a little bit of a poke through that. And off the back of that, I think that will be most of the new features in FM22 covered, and we can get on with straight out and out gameplay. But the data hub is definitely something I'm looking forward to using, one of the big additions to Football Manager 2022 this year. So that is something we will have a bit of a dive into off the back of the Newcastle game tomorrow, albeit we'll probably go back to key highlights for that one, just so we do get through the matches a little bit quicker, try and get through the action in the save as quick as we can, so we get as many seasons done in the save as possible before we start our Builder Nation with Volsunga. But if you did enjoy today's episode, we bought Belotti in and we got a decent result against Manchester City despite being well outplayed. And do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and do enjoy this series, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow, we will have deadline day, Newcastle away, and the data hub. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.